Hi, ladies and gents. My name's Anu, and I'm the founder of Victim to Victor. And I am joined today with the lovely Ashika Lessani. And we have done quite a few different podcasts together over the past few years. And we're reunited today to discuss a very important topic, growth whilst dating. And we're going to be looking particularly on the topic of compatibility versus chemistry. So it will be a very enlightening episode, which I'm sure you'll benefit from. And I just feel like, we're like the best people for this because we both have very different backgrounds, but yet we share very similar themes. My background stems from a lot of trauma, PTSD, which I suffered. And the work that I do now is also helping trauma and PTSD survivors to heal from the pain and to live a more fulfilling life. And I'm also now looking more into relationship healing and just looking at the patterns that we have as a result of the trauma and how we go into toxic relationships and how that can really jeopardize our well-being and sanity. So, yeah, this is why this podcast has now arose. And so, yeah, excited to be with you all.
Oh my gosh, Anu, I am so excited for this conversation. My name is Ashika Lessani. I am a registered holistic nutritionist turned feminine leadership coach. I'm also a podcaster, and Anu's been an amazing guest on my podcast as well. And it's always a pleasure to talk to her. I'm also the author of Redesigning the Inner You, a book of holistic wellness, and recently getting ready to publish my new book, Naked with Myself. It's a transformation of a woman from the inside out. I work with women to find their light, to find their sexy, and really supporting their nervous system out of fight or flight, whether it's relationship related with self and others, or they just need a transformation to break them out of their funk and truly step into the light and life that they were meant to live from birth. And this conversation with Anu, it is going to change the way women date. Okay. After listening to Anu and I's conversation, you will never see dating as you did prior to listening.
Mhm.
It is going to change the way you attract love. It's going to change the way you attract abundance because abundance and love go together.
Mhm.
How you look at yourself in the mirror. And this stems from, I know each one of us, me and I know we have our personal experiences that has truly given us the lessons and the tools to guide other women in our own specific ways. For me, coming from divorce based out of infidelity, being in a narcissistic, emotionally abusive relationship, to truly finding that relationship with myself again, healing my relationship with my father. That was huge. Understanding that I did not need outside validation. The only person that needs to validate me is me. And
Mhm.
being able to sit at tables and enter rooms where I know I am going to bring a wealth of information and knowledge to, and being able to learn from others. So here we go, Anu.
Woo, let's jam. Love this.
Is it?
Yeah, so myself and the Sheikah have different experiences like over the past year or so, where my experience is the fact that I came out of a long-term relationship and it just wasn't serving me. And so I've never been happier because I just feel like ever since I exited that relationship, my spark was lit again. And so
I love that.
and so I have been out there dating, experiencing the dating world in the modern world, which has been very interesting to say the least. And so I have a wealth of experience now, which I can share with you all. Probably not so much on this episode. I'm sure we'll do another one. But
I'm
Ashika,
sure.
yeah, but Ashika's from a different current experience, aren't you, Ashika?
Yeah, I mean, you know, let's also add that while, we're dating, we're also dating and raising kids. You know,
Mm.
I'm raising a teenager. I know Anu's children are a little bit younger, right? So it dating changes when you have specific responsibilities
Mm,
and also when you are standing in your purpose and have that growth mindset
mm,
as well. So that was one of my biggest lessons where when I first started dating after my divorce, I mean, first of all, it was thinking about what's my type again because I had been with my ex-husband for, 12 plus years, married and prior to when we were dating. So learning what's my type all over again.
yeah.
And also healing from infidelity in that marriage, understanding that, I am worthy and it wasn't my fault and I don't deserve this, and understanding, what is my worth again.
Mm,
But but here is a thing, because until you heal that, you continue to take that into every relationship and you attract. What I was doing was I was attracting the same type of people,
mm,
right? So coming from that perspective of like, how do I shift what I attract in my life?
mm.
Well, what you become is what you attract,
You do. Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So
Mm,
shifting the mindset of what do I attract back to the perspective of who do I want to become.
mm,
That was the biggest shift for me. That's where my dating stemmed from. And every person that I dated after that, I was in a few long-term relationships. The first long-term relationship that I was in after my marriage, um, I decided not to get married again and have any more children.
wow.
So I had to say goodbye to that relationship and not only set myself free and stand up for myself and use my voice, but to let that other person also live out his dream,
Wow.
right? So letting go of outside expectation, because the expectation, I mean, culturally and as women, and at that point I was in my late 30s, right? And going into my 40s as women, they're like, well, aren't you going to get married again? Well, are you not going to have any more children? It's, that outside chatter. And I know my mother was looking at me with that question all over her face. And so was my father, and really letting go of that expectation and going back and listening to myself, like, what do I want? What does Ashika want?
Yeah.
Who do I want? What do I want to create? And I knew deep down inside, and I know that, you know, you stem from this as well, because you have such a deep, powerful mission. I was looking and I said, I have a deeper purpose. This was almost a decade ago, more than a decade ago. And I said, I have a deeper purpose. And at that point, I was wanting to figure out and deep dive into who I was.
Mm, yeah, 100%. Wow, I love that. And I think, yeah, the identity is a big one for me as well, because I did see a huge shift in my identity when I became single again, and it took me a while to actually readjust. Not only readjust, but it's to actually regain my new identity. Who was I? And I did actually go on a retreat to actually experience that. And so that really helped me to just vision myself. And what I realized was that I'd spent like all my life just confirming to societal pressure to be somebody who I truly wasn't. And a lot of that stemmed from like the masculinity, to actually be a high achiever and to earn loads and to achieve loads and to,
Mhm.
be this ambitious career girl. I was actually burning myself to the ground, like working 70,
Mhm.
80-hour weeks. It's just, yeah, I know that this is very common in the Western world in
Very
particular
common.
with us career moms, as soon as we obviously graduate, then it's, we go and get these high profile jobs and then we escalate in our, in positions in our careers to become like the best that we can. But then so many of us just burn out.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Goodness. It's just,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
And
phenomenal. So
then,
yeah, I mean, again, that's probably a huge topic on its own as well. So So what I had to learn to do over the past year was to regain my femininity
Mm,
and to become vulnerable again and to trust again and to not not be so masculine. And it was a real it was a real shift and it took a lot of work. And I must admit, over the past year, it's just been phenomenal, how I feel today compared to how I felt a year ago.
wow.
Huge
So
shift.
let me ask you something there because you said something so powerful, consciously making that shift out of your masculine
Mhm.
energy and going deeper into our feminine because we have both, we can shift shape shift something, yeah. What does that look like for you, or what did it look like for you actively stepping out of your masculine and fully owning your femininity? Because I feel like a lot of women need to hear this.
Wow.
A lot of women are wondering, well, if I need to be more feminine, what does that even look like?
Yeah.
All I've done is function in my masculine. Where do I even start? So I'd love to hear like what it felt like and what it meant for you.
Wow, that's huge.
So I asked you about.
So, wow, to actually be in my feminine now, to me, it's strength. It's letting go of control because I'm such a control freak. Like, I actually felt like I had OCD, even though I've not been diagnosed with it. But again, where does that stem from? It stems from needing to control every aspect of your life, needing to control where items are placed in your home and needing to control just like the littlest like things that go on in your home. It was such a tiring place to be. And
Mhm.
so to actually be in my feminine now, it just means to embrace just freedom, embrace enlightenment, and embrace happiness. And also to understand that, we are not men. Men and women, we're totally different. We function differently. We shouldn't be comparing ourselves to men. And I remember all those years when I was following Robin Sharma in the 5 a.m. club, and it was
Yeah.
killing me waking up that early to do my, my personal development practices. I was
Mhm.
like, I was shattered. Like, and then I realized, no, we're not the same as men, and we're all individual, and we need to follow our bodies. So now I love having my 8 hours sleep and waking up at 7:30. It suits me great because then I'm happier and I just feel more energized. And it's
Right.
it's even like this ice cold bathing. Like I actually did a Wim Hof retreat last year, and even with that, it makes you think like, is ice really good for women? For men, it might be, but again, they're made of totally different cells than us. We're totally different beings.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're so right. Like, you know, I was there too, the 5 a.m. club. I read it. I lived by it.
Mm,
I'd be up at five. Like, that's what got me into the personal development world. And, Raman Sharma has some really good information, but you have to pick and choose what you take. And you are so right where women are trying so hard to function as men or be in a competition with men. And
yeah.
it is exhausting us. It is making us hit the wall and taking us right to burnout where we don't like and you get lost in it and
Yeah.
then everything you do is from a state of exhaustion.
Good.
And I was there too where I just one day and I'm like I give up. Like
Mm,
I give up. I need to stop this constant state of control and knowing where everything is and where everybody is. And especially if you come from a single family home, it's like you have a whole day running through your mind. Where are your children? Where you need to be? Where are your clients? What you're doing on social media?
mm.
All of these things are constantly going through your mind. And letting go of control was also very frightening,
Wow. Yeah.
right? It's like
Yeah.
going through that season of, okay, if I let go of this particular situation or where this person needs to be, then
Mm,
what is going to be the aftermath? I even had to let go of that.
wow.
Like thinking the worst case scenario if Ashika's not involved in controlling something.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
right? And being able to be led by a masculine, that makes me feel so powerful. Like women, we're powerful creatures on our own. When you are standing in your power, in your most feminine self,
Mm,
and truly creating a life from attraction rather than chasing,
mm,
and being in your creative and nurturing state,
yeah.
there is a whole another level where you can actually be led by a healthy masculine. And do you want to add a healthy masculine?
Mm-hmm.
There is so much growth and abundance in that, ladies. There is so much room for you to stand in your light, not have to dim it, and continue for your light to expand.
I love that. And I guess that leads us on nicely to actually finding a suitor and, the mix up of chemistry and compatibility that we all need to understand that, they are not the same. And
No, no,
yeah, and unfortunately, I guess, if we are coming from a place of fear or lack, or, if we aren't in balance as feminine, souls that we should be, then we are going to maybe attract partners who may not be suitable for us. And so,
right?
yeah, so this is where we need to learn more about, what it is, like, why are we attracting who we're attracting? Because, we are like attracts like you said
Right.
earlier, and, we are mirror images of who comes into our lives. They come into our lives because there's something that we need to learn from, or that there's something that's similar between us. And so, yeah, so this is going to be our next topic. Hmm.
Yes. That chemistry versus compatibility will change the way you feel about yourself, the way that you show up in
Mm,
every relationship, not just romantic relationship. It actually, yeah, this is what it is. For me, when I shifted my perspective from wanting somebody that has chemistry with me and focusing more on the compatibility part, it created so much safety in my life where I could actually let go, that I
mm,
could actually let go of that control
wow.
and be in my feminine, right? Whatever the feminine means to you, because it means something different to every woman, but in that whole soft era that we hear about, but
Mm,
not necessarily, not being that pushover,
yeah.
right? It's like you still have a strong backbone, you still have your own perspectives, but shifting from dating out of chemistry and dating out of compatibility looked like um, attracting a partner. And when I say attracting, that means it started for me was respecting myself.
Yes. Mm,
So if for me, like when I'm respecting myself, when I learn to love, like truly love myself in all my happiness and my sadness, whatever it is, I don't have to be perfect in order to love myself. I can love myself just as I am and then grow from there. Then you would attract someone who is compatible with who you are,
yeah. Mm,
right? So you're not chasing that spark because that spark can go like be blown out as
yeah.
easy
Well,
as
mm,
a firecracker, right? It's like a firecracker. That's the
yeah.
vision I'm seeing. It's like it's a firecracker. So shifting
Exactly.
from chemistry to compatibility
Wow.
is what a safe, supportive, respectful relationship looks like, where
Mm.
you feel held and you can be in your power and not feel like you have to dim your light, right? What's I want to hear your perspective because this is
Yeah.
like,
Well,
you know,
again, this has all been very tried and tested for me as
yes.
well. So, yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, yeah, I mean, for those of you who who still need to understand this better. So chemistry is often the initial magnet, the pull that we have from somebody, and that could stem from, their energy. It could be pheromones, because they say that when women are in ovulation, for example, then we are actually more biologically attractive to the opposite sex. So I don't know if any females out there have noticed that during ovulation that they get a lot more attention or a lot more stares.
Yeah,
So
because you have a bit more glow to you, you're like you're looking for that attention. Yeah, absolutely. Our
totally.
hormones are like you can smell them from far away.
Exactly, yeah. And so chemistry to me has always been that butterfly feeling. And, it's the adrenaline rush that you get from meeting someone. And, when you get tingles down your spine. And what I realized was that was just my nervous system activation. And that it wasn't actual compatibility, even though at the time I thought, oh yeah, we're gonna get married. This is love. No, darling, it was lust, so
Love how you say
chemistry.
that. So true.
Chemistry is just this magical spark that you feel, right?
Hmm.
Unfortunately, it doesn't always equal to long-term success. In my case, it never did. So my sparks always dwindled within the first 6 months. I mean, they studies have been done, and apparently chemistry and that spark can last up to a year. But then what happens after that? You need to have beliefs, values, and your morals. They all need to be compatible. You need to be sharing a lot of interests, or even, you don't even need to share interests. You need to accept each other and to understand each other and to find each other fascinating. So these are all the qualities that you don't really get to see whilst you're in that chemistry phase, because your nervous system is just activated and you're not actually being grounded and you're not seeing sense. So this is why I remember one of the Buddhist sayings is, that if you feel like you're, adrenaline rush, as soon as you meet someone, then to actually walk away, because you need to walk away. That's danger. Even though they might be the most beautiful people that you've ever seen,
Hmm.
but just, yeah, walk away, because that's chemistry. It's not going to equal long-term success. So
No, so
yeah.
true.
So obviously, the spark can grow, but that, you need both parties to be equally involved in a relationship. It takes two people in a relationship, and you can't just uphold somebody, which I know a lot of women do. We are the, breadwinners. We manage the house, we manage the kids, we manage the diaries. We're doing everything. And what is the partner contributing?
Right.
Mm. So
Yeah. That
that's
that's important.
yeah.
Right. I like how you mentioned that because we do all of these. We take it on ourselves, right?
Mm,
We do take it on ourselves. And at some point, then we also go into a relationship like that where it's like, I got it. Okay, you are lacking this particular, characteristic. It's okay. I've got enough to make it for both of us. No, stop it. Stop doing that. Please stop doing that. You need to, and you want to allow that individual to have their own ground to stand on. We can't micromanage a relationship. We can't keep it all together and put a smile on our face and say everything is fine. That's what gets us into trouble,
Yeah.
right? That's what keeps your nervous system in the fight or flight. You're always waiting for the tiger to sneak out of somewhere,
Yeah, it's true.
right? And
Mm,
and then what we do is we actually stunt the other person's growth
mm. Wow.
as well. And the saying comes to mind also is this was something, a quote that Julia Roberts said, and it stuck to me, where women are not rehabilitation centers for badly behaved men,
Ah, interesting.
right?
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I was like, yes, we as women need to stop saying, well, he will change or they will change. And I just have to give more love. I just have to be more present. I just have to give more, where
Mm,
that other person, this is after the chemistry kind of fizzles out,
mm,
right? And the compatibility isn't there. Then we think, well, what do I have to do?
Yeah.
What can I do more? What can I give up in my life to create more space? No,
Mm.
the ideal partner is not going to ask you, and there will be no need to give up something. There will be a need to grow. Either you grow, you can grow together, or there's a season where one partner grows and the other partner is stable and has that foundation, and then it changes, or you grow together, right? But if nobody is growing and you're just giving, and even after the chemistry fizzles out, like you said, after that 6 month or that 1 year period, that's when that's when shit gets real.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely. Yeah. Whoa. And it did for me in all cases, because ultimately, what we need in order to build a healthy relationship is, we need emotional safety. We need to
Yes.
feel that, that safe space in our partner. And a lot of the times, we don't get that as soon as we meet someone, because we have all these these amazing, like, kind of thoughts about who this person could be, and we create this whole avatar of our ideal partner, and we try and place whoever it is that we've met into that. But then a lot of the times they're not going to live up to that. And so, we then end up feeling disappointed, or like you said, we'll burn ourselves out to try and make ourselves more
Yes.
compatible to them. And then we'll start to sacrifice our needs. We'll start to sacrifice our own interests to try and fit in with them. And this is where the people pleasing comes in as well. So,
Yes.
yeah, so see, these are all huge self-awareness skills, which I just feel everyone needs to learn when they're dating,
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
because again, what happens then is you're not going to be happy, you're not going to be fulfilled, and you're going to be miserable, and it's just not a nice place to be. It's not where you want to be in order to grow and to be your full self. So, yeah,
Yeah.
self-awareness is huge in dating.
Right?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, so well said. That people pleasing, Anu, is so critical to understand, because we do bring that into our relationship, our romantic relationships. And we just women, we want to be loved and taken care of and feel safety, like you said. We do. And when we don't feel safe, we can't vocalize, we can't have healthy conversations because we keep it inside.
Mm.
But that people pleasing can truly leave us exhausted. The need to be liked, or to say, if I don't do X, then he's not going to like me. If I speak up, he's not going to like me. If I vocalize what I truly want, or even if I vocalize he's not the right person for me, am I going to find somebody after? Is it too late for me? Is this it? Like we talk ourselves, we dim our light into settling, and then we're pleasing that person, and it's a full-time job. It is a full-time job. I have
Mm.
done it. I was exhausted, and then I went through this period where I was like, I never want to date again. Obviously that didn't last too long, but but now it's like being in a healthy relationship with a partner who has respect for himself, has that self-love for him, and knows how to give that to me, and to hold space for us.
Mm.
At first, I didn't even know what to do with it.
Yeah.
When we first experienced that, it also feels like a threat. It's like when chemistry wears off and you have that compatibility. I'm like, do you like the same things I do?
Yeah.
Like basics. Do you have faith in the universe or God? Do you believe that there's a higher source? For me, that's important. I need a man who walks in faith. So
Mm.
that was really important for me, which I wasn't even paying attention to prior to, when I was in dating out of my chemistry,
Mm.
needs. But now in the compatibility, like, these are critical questions. I don't want you to sit across the table and ask me what's my favorite color. No, figure
Mm.
it out.
Yeah.
Like, don't ask me, or what book do I like to read? No, I mean, I'm on social media. Google me, like, figure it out. Like, you'll know. Like, ask me, like, tell me about yourself. Like, tell me, what was your breaking point? What have you learned? Where's the growth, right? And the second part to that people pleasing is that women to start paying attention to themselves, right? Understanding the love to please yourself first, to please yourself in different parts of your life.
Mm.
That when you have a partner who's sitting across the table from you, they have something to offer you outside of what you can give yourself.
Yeah, yeah. Love that. Wow. Wow. Thank you so much. Some, yeah, beautiful just, words of wisdom there. And as well, I just feel like alignment is really key as well. Just being aligned with your own values, your standards and your vision as well. And it just helps you to then because you're firm in who you are, it helps you to then not settle for anything less, and to not settle for any of the toxic energies that me and you have both been exposed to,
Mhm.
unfortunately. And standards are self-respect, and
Yes.
yeah, this is why, if you settle, I mean, again, settling, what is that? That's like when you're just betraying yourself,
Oh
and
my
it
gosh.
drains you. It's just the worst thing you could do for yourself. And so many people I still see, they're settling and they're putting up with bad behavior because they're just scared of being alone.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
it. And so what does this all stem down to is the fact that, we need to love ourselves, we need to do the work. We need to understand ourselves and be self-aware. That's what it all
Yeah.
stems down to. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's dating yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love dating myself and I still date myself. Like yes, my partner buys flowers for me and I love him for that.
Yeah.
But I still buy myself flowers.
Yeah. Oh, I love
I
that.
still take myself out for coffee. I'll still take myself out for a walk.
That's
Like
beautiful.
I need that time for myself. And, even as a parent, like you can create that time. It doesn't have to, you don't have to disappear for hours,
Yeah.
like 15 minutes sometimes, or even like a walk around the block or 20 minutes at a coffee shop. Like just sit and then, walk back to whatever it is that you need to handle. But just continue to date yourself. And if there are people, women and men that are listening here that are even in a healthy marriage or relationship,
Mm.
don't forget to date yourself,
Wow, I love that.
right?
Yeah.
It is so important. Like treat yourself. I don't want to say this, and I'm going to say it boldly. Treat yourself like you're the fucking prize.
Yeah, wow,
Okay,
hell
like
yeah.
let's stop settling. I was writing like there's a few chapters in my new book where I'm talking about like women, how we need to stop being humble
Mm.
in the sense of you need to do and ask for what you want.
Yeah,
Don't be humble and say, "Oh no, it's okay, I don't need that."
yeah,
No, yes, you do.
you
You
do.
do need that safety. You
Yeah,
do need your
exactly.
nervous system to be safe. You do need to be held as much as women think that they don't need that,
Oh,
that's where exhaustion, like one way ticket to exhaustion, right? And that I had to learn that the hard way. I remember, a few years ago, I was so burnt out. I knew that, you
mm,
know, with business and going through like divorce and then like going back to school, like all of it, like it finally just caught up to me. And I was bedridden for a couple of weeks and I was exhausted. Like it even hurt to move my body. That's how burnt out I was.
wow.
And am I proud of it? No. But did I learn something so I can give back to the community? Yes, absolutely. That's why I am grateful that I did experience that. But do I ever want to be put in that place again? No. And I'm going to stand up for myself and say, this is not okay. These are my standards. This is what I need. And I'm not going to be apologetic about it. I'm done.
Wow, that's beautiful. That, yes. And this is it. And so just on that, having standards, it doesn't mean that you're being picky. It just means that you're honoring your worth. And that's huge.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and this is what, for those of you who are out there dating right now, what is conscious dating? I hashtag that all the time at the
Mhm.
moment. It means you're
Yes.
dating not to fill a void of loneliness. You're dating from wholeness, and you're dating for somebody to come and add value to your life, not to fill it, whatever missing piece you may have of a jigsaw puzzle within you. But you're after somebody who's going to be match your energy. They're going to be your equal or even more. And yeah, you're finding somebody just on a higher vibrational frequency. So that's what, you should be doing anyway.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my God, that's such a great
Mm,
um, piece there that you shared. It's like dating from a place of being whole or to your best ability, right? Then attracting somebody who's just going to make that better and being okay with being on your own. At the end of the day, we're never alone. Why? Because we're always with ourselves. Once a woman learns to enjoy her own company and truly love on herself. Like I fucking love myself. You know what I mean?
oh,
I just say it out loud. I
hey.
fucking love myself. And if you ask my partner, he'll be like, that woman over there just loves
Is-
herself. And I
Oh,
love her for
okay.
that. You know what I mean? It's like, and I see that in him. Like I see like that man over there. I'm like, he loves himself. And I'm so proud of him for that.
Oh, I love that.
And that gives me goosebumps, because it's like once,
Mm.
and it can be done. Don't listen to this and say, well, there's nothing I can do about it. It's too late for me. No, it's not. It's never too late to truly love yourself, to give your all to yourself. Because when you grow and create from a place of self abundance and the love abundance, it is a whole another game.
Wow. Absolutely. I love that. And it's funny because I just remember growing up when I used to get bullied saying, oh, she loves herself. Thinking,
Mm.
hell yeah.
Yeah, like thank you. Fucking worked hard to get here. Glad somebody recognizes it. You know what I mean?
How funny is that? It's meant to be an insult, but at the time, obviously, we saw it as an insult, didn't we? We were like, yeah,
Right.
both,
Yeah.
both,
Because we're embarrassed. We're like, oh my God, I don't want to be full of myself. No,
I
I'm
don't
not
want to
full of
be.
myself. I'm full of love for myself.
Exactly. There's a difference. There's a difference.
Yes. Yes. That's the thing.
Wow.
And then, also being parents too, we want to teach our children that.
Yeah.
Right? Like this is the thing too, and I've said this to some of my clients too. When I say, say that you love yourself, they're like, "Well, I don't want to sound like I'm egotistical." I'm like, you know what? If your child came and asked you, Mom, how do I feel confident? How do I do this? Would you not tell your child you need to love yourself? Say it out loud. Say it with me. I love me.
Wow.
Same thing. Treat yourself as that child. That was another thing too. I know you talk about this as well too, is like really your child self, right? And I love that when you share that content. Like in dating,
Mm.
um, this was important for me because I won't get too much into it because that's another episode. But healing my relationship with my father, because my father and I have always had like that love-hate relationship. Like he was my best friend growing up, right? And then halfway down the road, I turned into a teenager, and then now he's my father, and I have to listen to what he has to say. And you
Yeah.
have to be that, that obedient South Asian woman and to get
Mm.
married and have children, and that's what your life is. So we've always butt heads, but creating that safety and love again with my father and having conversation. It's a perfect no. Are we still growing? Yes. But it truly made me feel like once you heal a very important relationship in your life, there's always something. There's something behind that door. Once you heal that particular relationship, whatever it is, for me, it was my dad.
Mm.
I woke up the next day and I was like, I don't need to be validated by a man anymore. I
Wow.
knew that was like, I can't even explain to you what
Yeah.
that day was when I decided to leave my emotionally abusive narcissistic relationship.
Wow. That is mega. I can't believe that. So that was all daddy issues.
Hmm.
Interesting,
Yep.
interesting. Wow, I love that. And I just hope that, by listening to this talk, that it's inspiring other people to, actually evaluate where they are in their lives and to just question, am I happy where I am right now? Am I happy in my relationship? Am I happy with myself? And to, just understand that a lot of the ways that we might be feeling right now could be due to stuff that may have happened to us when we were younger, because there is a huge impact. And I don't like it when people say, oh, the past is the past, or, like, forget about the past. No, the past
Oh,
is huge and it's basically a consequence of who we are today. So we really do need to understand about that. And, I just feel today's episode has hopefully helped you to understand that as well. Mm.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's the thing. It's like
Mm.
there's something needs to shift. You
Mm,
know, something needs to shift. We all have a choice, man or woman. You all have that choice to stay where you are or choose something different.
mm,
Get help, get the right support you need. You know, speak up because you're not alone.
yeah, exactly.
You know, and I hope this episode made those listening you know, understand that you're not alone
Yeah.
and that you can start your healing journey
Mm,
and you can attract a healthy, supportive, respectful partner that you can grow with. It's out there. I've had a lot of women, heard a lot of women say, "Well, I've given up. I'm just on my own." Don't give up. Focus the energy back on yourself.
yes, yes. Oh my goodness. And that's exactly what I was going to say is the fact that dating and being in a relationship isn't solely just about finding love in somebody else. It's actually about finding yourself through love. And just every connection that you have, every person who you may encounter, it's helping to shape you into the person who can actually recognize and hold the relationship you truly deserve. And don't forget that. And don't ever regret, ever any of your relationships because you were in those relationships for a reason. You were in those relationships to learn something about yourself and to grow
Mm-hmm.
from it, and to obviously
Mm-hmm.
now be able to share those experiences with other people. So just embrace it and just live your life with no regrets ever. Mm.
Yeah, that's it. And you know, and try to let go of control. It's
Yeah.
not easy, but it can be done. There are good days, there are bad days. You'll go back and forth, but you know, consistency and self-love and self-respect.
Yeah, beautiful. Wow. And on that note, yeah, I feel like we have tackled quite a few topics there, and I look forward to obviously jamming with you again, Ashiko. It's always such an honor to have these
Yes.
conversations.
I know every time we do an episode, we're like, we need to come back and talk about something else we mentioned. And I feel like we gave away like so many golden nuggets. This I felt like I knew this was like a free masterclass right here for people. Like it really was. And that's the thing about bringing value. And this is what I appreciate in you. And what
Mm,
I see is that, you know, those that are online bring so much value when you're talking about the real thing.
mm.
That's what I love about our conversations and and just sharing it with the world. And you know what? We'll be back. This isn't the last on this topic, and we're so grateful that you guys could join us. If this episode hit home, take time to think about it. Go back and listen from the beginning.
Mm.
If it's something that you want to share, share it on Instagram, share it on Facebook, tag Anu and us. Let us know that this episode helped you and how it helped you, and spread the word. If you know a girlfriend, if you know a guy in your life that needs to hear this message, pass it on. Love you guys. See
Beautiful. On that note, take care, my friends. We'll see you in the next episode.
you.